How you doing, everybody? Hi, Rick and Howard. How you guys doing? How are things in Arizona and Chicago? I've lived in both of those places. I used to live in suburban Chicago and Tucson, Arizona. Oh boy, we've had snow. We had snow yesterday. 11 years ago, we had an October snow. It destroyed everything. Hi, Andrew. Oh boy. Hi, Richard. How are things in Seattle? I've never lived in Seattle or Washington. One of my kids lives in Oregon now. Dark, huh? Oh yeah, I guess it would be. Yeah, what is it, about 5 o'clock in the morning out there? We do have an afternoon one, misty and dark. Well, that sort of describes Seattle. Oh boy. Um, One of the things that I thought would be sort of fun to discuss, I think, and worth discussing, and sort of try to back into certain other things. And that is that there was somebody put up a like a survey or questionnaire or something, and they said, "Is your most expensive watch your favorite watch?" And most people said no. And so I think, well, that's sort of interesting. You know, well, what would be your favorite watch then, if it's not your most expensive one? And so I thought, well, this is something that I think would be worth talking about. Hi, John. Um, so anyway, watches. It's a question I get most often. Rick, well, what would be your say? Okay, this is here. I've got all of these wonderful watches. Some are very expensive, some not so much. Hi, William. And so it would be like, okay, which one do you like? I mean, which one, when you put on, do you like the best? And I realized after asking myself that question, I started pulling out all these watches that were my favorite watch, none of which was the most expensive, by the way. And I thought, wow, let's see what we got here. Hi, Shaver Ray. Um, anyway, well, I've got on my favorite, and it's one of my favorite, and boy, um, don't have a favorite, but likely not my most expensive. Ah, I have ones that I seem to want to wear more than others. I'll put it that way. And but the others, I found out I like to wear them too, but simply not as much. My current favorite, I don't know if you can see this or not, is my oh God, what is it? Van Cleef and Arpels, Time Here and Time There. There's a French way of pronouncing it that I just will butcher. And it's got the jumping hours and the retrograde minutes, and it's just sort of a fun one to have and wear. Now, having said that, the question is, so I gotta say, well, why? And um, well, yeah, well, there's that. This one, I don't think will have a honeymoon period because it sort of comes in and out because I like to rotate my watches, so I don't think it's gonna be a honeymoon. Hi, Joash, Hoas, Hoas, God, I'm sorry. I'll just say it probably Joas. How's that? Hi, El. Um, so yeah, there's that. There, I suppose there is that, but Joas was. Is it Hoas? Is it would be correct? Uh, anyway, I try to be correct. I just my both my hearing and pronunciation are shot, so I do the best I can though. Okay. Hi, Clyde. How you doing? It's like your favorite in a harem. It's likely to change from day to day. Yeah, that's true too. Um, Hi, hi, Fall. How are you? Um, anyhow, but the question I was wondering, well, this is one of my favorite. I'll say, it's my current very favorite, and I think it's something that has three things that I like. I just like the looks of it. First of all, I just like the design. It's a wonderful design. Second of all, I like the innovations on it. What I call innovations, I'll say the unique features. They include the jumping hours and retrograde minutes. It's the only watch that I have both of those, and it's a dual jumping hours. I don't know how many of those were ever done. The thinness of the watch is because the movement maker, uh, Jean-Marc Viderec of Agenor, and of course Van Cleef and Arpels said they wanted it thin, and so we made a movement right from scratch. I mean, the movement is not what they had had before. I think they had a Piaget, and then they wanted Agenor to add stuff to it so it would have the dual time, and he couldn't do it the way that they wanted it without starting all over, and so that's what he did. So that's one reason I like it. Um, okay, speaking of which, how is the Sultan doing? Rick, hi Rick, how you doing? Okay, I wear 4 or 5 watches a day. Yeah, William, I think that's a good idea. I really do. I like that idea. Uh, you wear them. Yeah, yeah. Sometimes I do the same thing in the morning. I thought, well, I'll put this one on, and then I'm wearing it, and then I thought, well, I'll try this one, and I just sort of, I think it's not a matter of having a favorite child. I'm going to send this one to college, and this one is going to go work in the coal mines. It's not that way. I want to take good care of all of them and enjoy all of them. But I have to. I think it's important. For me, anyway, it is to ask about that. Here's the same thing. Here's another very favorite, and this is, see if you can see this. This is a Langenheim. I again, when I see the movement on this watch, I'm just amazed. And so that's one of the things. The dial is very clear. I can see it. I generally like white dials with black lettering or black numbers and indexes and so forth, mainly because they're the easiest for me to see. Now, I have some black dials that are among my favorite too, like this. Roger Dubuis. And again, I like it for the same reasons, primarily the movement, the RD14 movement. And there's something about that watch that just you put that thing on and it's just great. Hi, Gilberto. How you doing? Um, Hi, Trey. Rolex Oyster Quartz two-tone is my favorite one because it is intemporal, simple, and it's also a rare watch. Well, that's a good reason. Um, I've worn 2 watches a day only once. Wang and Heim. It's Langenheim, you wanker. Anyway, so this is another one I really enjoy wearing, and again, so much comes back to the movement. Same here on this FP Journe chronometer surveying. Again, it's very clear, very easy to see the time and tell the time. It has a power reserve indicator, and it's also the chronometry of this watch is fantastic, and that's due in part to the parallel linked dual barrels, which I really like. And otherwise, it's when you look at it, it's not a terribly complex watch. It's really funny. None of my excuse me, none of my favorite watches are the most complex ones. They're just not. Another favorite, and this one is sort of goes against the grain in terms of white dials and black black lettering. This is my Endeavor center seconds, and for some reason, the gold on the brown background works very well. And there's something about this watch. Of course, I love the movement too. This is a wonderful movement. And so those would be my tip top favorites. But other ones I really like too. Um, by the way, today is a blue moon. Whenever there's two full moons in a month, the second one is called a blue moon. And this is the first time in a long time that Halloween is also a full moon. So there's all kinds of stuff on that. Yeah, wouldn't you know? And the night that the kids don't go trick or treating in the middle of a pandemic, we get all of these other things. Maybe that's sort of a compensation for that. Okay, let's see. When I started collecting, I wanted the ones that that rammed as many features as possible. But as time progressed, my taste gravitated towards simpler dials. Yeah, always like simple dials, and it's sort of would be the opposite. One watch that I do like a lot, um, that I always take on trips with me, is my Parmigiani hemispheres. Boy, that thing is great, and it's got all kinds. It's got a lot of gizmos on it, and it does have a dark dial, and it's a little harder to read. But it also has dual day-night things, so I can. I'm not going to call a friend at 3 o'clock in the morning because I can just at a glance I can tell it's in the middle of the night. Hi, Jean Claude. How are you? Jean Claude Beaver. Come on. For me, it's about how it feels on the wrist and also how it makes me feel. Yeah, yeah, you're right. Uh, Jean Claude. No, I understand that completely. You put on a watch and it just feels right, and I think that is a big important thing. It feels right in terms of on your wrist at a glance. This one I've had to learn how to look at it at a glance in a totally different way than any of my other watches. Remember when is going viral was a good thing? Yeah, I do remember that. Uh, Yet you seem to wear your Seiko as a beater watch, more wear time. Not me. I mean, my little Seiko 5, I got yard work and on it goes, but otherwise, I don't wear it that much, but I wear it some, and I like it. Um, Hi, Panya, how you doing? How are things in Berlin? Hey, Al. To be honest, sometimes your favorite is not always the most expensive. Yeah, my most expensive, and I really love it a great deal, is my FP Journe resonance watch. And but it, it's to wear it is fun in this respect. Is that I love seeing these second hands totally stay in sync together because of the resonance of the two watches inside. But as a daily wearer, man, it's not something I wear that often, but I do like it. Um, Mine would be a universal pole router date. It is relatively affordable, understated, but the movement is such a good one for the price. You know, OS pole router, for some reason, I've always liked pole routers. In part, it's because of the story behind them, but I love pole routers. I know a guy who's got some, and every time I see one, oh, wow, there's a pole router. Those are cool watches. Um, for me, the search for a good travel watch continues. I've been spoiled by time zone function found in several calibers, the Omega 8900 series being one of them. Cool. Cold and rainy in Berlin. Well, we've got cold and we had snow yesterday, so we got snow all over the place, and it hasn't melted because of the temperatures in the 20s Fahrenheit, which would be he would be below 0 Celsius. is a movement with a uh, module to accomplish a complication lower horology than when it does it natively? Oh boy, that's a great question. Could you think of an example, Clyde, of a watch that has a complication or that has a function that is aside from the sort of the basic base of the movement? I can't think of any, but I do like that idea. I have a problem, Bill, since I bought the Tudor Black Bay 58 Blue. I can't take it off. And it's been 3 months. That's okay. I mean, that there is no reason except uh, liking the variety. You can do anything you want, like, oh, I better. Me, I feel guilty. I look at the looks on the faces of the other ones in the case, and it's sort of like, how come we don't get to be worn? And I have to talk about sort of, it's called what's collector neurosis. Hi, John. My favorite is my humble Tudor North Flag. I like North Flag. North Flag, yeah, that's another thing. Every time you put on a watch, if you smile, it's a great watch. This one does it for me, along with all of these others that I really enjoy wearing and having. For some reason, I'm really not a sports watch guy, but this one I just love the pieces, and every time I have it on, I like it even more. And it's an automatic, and I'm not an automatic fan, and it's a great big old heavy one. You could knock somebody out with a punch them in the chops with wearing this thing. You never know sometimes. But boy, I tell you, I like that watch a lot. Another one too, my great big Culpa with a blue, the robin's egg blue. I like that one too, and I have no idea why. I just do. Abdul Aura watches. I have to say my favorite is my date just 1601. Given to be my grandfather before he passed away. The sentimental, yeah, Abdul. I think that's an important thing. I've got a lot of my favorite watches are related in one way or another to a friend, or an acquaintance, or a family member, or something like that, in some way. Yeah, no, that becomes important. Hi, Gary. Um, Hi, KK Ty. Can you talk a bit about VC vintage pocket watch, as they are not that expensive? KK, we're I'm really not a guy to ask about vintage watches because I don't pay that much attention to them. I don't know what I would say, but I will say one thing: I've become interested in vintage watches that have a key. I want to get a watch that I can wind up with a key after I after I read what um, George Daniels had to say about him, and realized that in his book, all of the watches that he shows don't have, they're all key wound. And I went through that. I couldn't believe it, and they were. And of course, he automatic. I think he that is sent to the fifth circle of hell or something. Oh, okay. John, let's see. You've got a 1950s Breitling chronomat. Wow, now that's an interesting one. Any watch you own should make you think, yep. Yeah, yeah, Clyde, I like that. Yeah, it's for different kinds of reasons. Today I was thinking, okay, I got to have three different watches for High Horology Lounge today. One was my favorite. Second was one that was the most Halloween like, and I picked my this one is my most Halloween like because it's got a very red, gold, and black, which is close. I figure, okay, well maybe it's like orange and black, sort of look like a camel corn, but there's no white on it. And then also, since there's a blue moon, um, my ever since I fixed my Kristen Vanderklaw, boy, it's perfect on the moon phase. So anyway, so at High Horology Lounge, if you got your Halloween watch, your favorite watch, and your moon phase. We get all the moon phases out today with a blue moon. It's once in a blue moon. Uh, my favorite watch is my Seiko Presage Urushi. The black glossy dial is hard to photograph, but the strap is super comfy, and the gold hands make for great contrast with the white indexes. Love for watches. Hi, how you doing? Long time subscriber, first time on the live show. Welcome, welcome. If the watch on your wrist doesn't make you happy and satisfied, then it's not meant to be. Yeah, some days, it's funny. Some days there's a watch I'll love to wear, and then on another day, not so much, and I don't know why. I have no idea. But most of them I like all the time. Hey, Paul. Yep. Yeah, I hope everybody else is well too. I guess we're in the second round of this pandemic. They said that we're really going to hit hard this winter, and boy, it has. Connecticut has been pretty good about it, but even we got a jolt. It's a pandemic. If my favorite is Victronox Alliance, nice looking and very comfortable. You know, I've always been a fan of Swiss Army knives, Swiss Army this and that. And those are the coolest looking watches. I really do like that. The looks of those watches. Night of the Kluge, how you doing, man? Blue Moon, you saw me standing. Oh, yeah, that too. Yeah, Gary, I'm with it. I want to hear Clyde. I tell you on your next one where you have live. I want to hear that. I want to hear you sing Blue Moon. Da, 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 da. Let's see. Ice has melted. Half our traffic signals are down. Royal Peter. Yeah, that's what we had. It's almost exactly 11 years ago. We had a big snow before all the leaves were off our trees. This year, we had a very early and spectacular fall. The colors were great. And then when we got the snow yesterday, we only had like maybe 1 or 2 inches, three tops, and we didn't have a lot of that. We just have snow, and it's like really pretty. But um, I'm looking forward to it being gone pretty soon before winter sets in, and we have 3 months of sort of this white landscape that by the roads becomes a bit muddy. Let's see. What are you guys doing? I might start looking for a pocket watch, key wound and large movement to admire. Seem to be a good value, and the pleasure of the hunt is a good one. Yeah, Richard, that's the same thing I found. They're really great. Hi, Andrew. How you doing? Belated? Shaver Ray, how are you? Favorite is an obscure Swiss gold watch bought for me 45 years ago when I started work. Still keeps excellent time and gets worn at least once a week. That's great. I'm trying to think. I don't. Well, I have one. Well, no, I have two actually. I have two watches in my collection that are, getting up there. One is a 1968 Patek Philippe that still runs like a smooth as any watch I have, hand wound, Calatrava, and the other one is this 1940 something or other, 1930, 40-ish Beauvais Monorattrapant. I don't wear it too much because it's got all of this information crowded onto the dial. That's what I don't like about chronographs. As much as I like my Daniel Roth chronograph, I don't wear it that much, and it's a beautiful watch. It's just, maybe I'll feel guilty and wear it some more. Hey Lee, how you doing? Yeah. Hey John. Also, beside the Marcells, it's one of the Elvis has a wonderful rendition of Blue Moon. Let's see. Hey Lee, let's see what you doing, Lee. My favorite watch is a G-Shock 5600. A lot of people like their G-Shocks. A good friend of mine, we usually have coffee every week, and he has a G-Shock and he loves his G-Shock. Very good reason. You like a watch, you like it. I love all my watches. There's always a favorite amongst them, depending on the occasion. Yeah, that's true too. I mean, for something, if I went to something really formal, probably something like this or this. Either one would be sort of more for formal. For every day, I really like these two. The FP Journe Chronometre Souvain and my Frederick II by Langenheim. And also too for what for me is rough and tumble. Like when I go for a walk, I like to use this, turn the bezel to see how much time I can break my record of a 40-minute mile, 40-minute 2 mile. Hi, Ava Goros. Hi, I don't have a high-end watch. I'm thinking of buying a Nomos Lambda Steel 175 of Glashütte. Boy, that's like elevator to the top floor. That lambda movement is really nice. Beautiful watch. So, I think they dropped the price significantly on those too, because people think of Nomos and they think this is a great everyday office watch. And then they see a lambda and it was like, what, $20,000-$30,000 for it, and it doesn't do too well. Nomos is cool. For normal everyday use, I like the Omega Seamaster Aquaterra or the TH Grand Carrera 36. Less sporty and more dressy. The HMC Endeavor Moon Vanna Black. Holy smoke! I agree. Do you have that Vanna Black? That is a gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous watch. The Florida Keys. Out there, are you on Key Largo with your pina colada? Hi, Zayed. What's up? I'm doing fine. And yourself? I hope well. I hope everybody's doing well. This is something that sort of my hair is growing back to pandemic length ever since they've started shutting things down again. So I'm going to be looking like Gabby Hayes even more so. Gary Powers. Mid 40s here in North Texas. KK Ty. For everyday watch, I love the Vacheron Constantin's Historiques Ultrafine 55. Holy smoke, I don't blame you. That's a beautiful watch, KK Ty. That Vacheron Constantin Historique, that whole line of them I like. The one that I like a lot, but I probably wouldn't get because I'm too lazy not to go down and buy it, but to have to reset it. It's a triple calendar, and I love that watch. A beautiful watch. They have two different styles, and I like them both. And they're relatively affordable, but it's one of those things that I like to look at. It's sort of like, oh, gee, there's all this date information. Oh, Rick, you're gonna get one. Boy, I tell you, that would be cool to see, Rick. Glashütte, yeah. Well, now the Glashütte original. There are some other ones, Moulet Glashütte and some other Glashütte ones. In fact, Nomos official name is Nomos Glashütte. I was looking at just yesterday. Stunning. Hi, Luke. I'm not in your. I'm in no league. My collection I favor is my Tudor Glamour Double Date two-tone. Wow, that sounds like a cool watch. Movement with a big double date, which a double date, is that like a double date? That would be interesting. It wouldn't be a two times the day here and the day on the moon. That would be interesting to have. Nomos is underrated, I think. Great movement and affordable price. When they get heavily discounted because of less hype, it is their loss, not yours. Yeah, I think that's a yeah. You're right, OS. That's the way to. I think that's the way to buy watches. You sort of watch where the herd goes and go the other way. Take the road less traveled. Hey, Luke, two date discs, one for each digit. Oh, I see. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So you have two. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that is cool. Uh, okay. How we doing? Well, I tell you, our time is up. Usually, Clyde says it's there's a frying pan in your future if you don't get off. So, hey, Patty, is an old sea dweller. I like sea dwellers. Those sounds cool. The old ones are really interesting. I like the of course my I keep calling it air toad, but it's not. It's the what's it called? The air something that Rolex has that I like with the bloodhound dial on it. Okay, Luke. I gotta go. Air King. Thanks, Andrew. Air Toad. There's one of the guys who uses that name, Air Toad. So I think of Air King. Yes, I think that is a wonderful watch. That's to me, that's an underrated Rolex, along with the uh, what is that? Yachtmaster 2. Okay, guys, gotta go. If you're groggy this morning, we'll be back at 4 o'clock Eastern time. And until then, everybody really stay safe because, man, people are dying at the rate of 1,000 people a day, which is just nuts. And if you don't die, there's a lot of heart risk that I recently saw them talking about. And so you don't want to get this stuff. So be careful. Wear a mask. Stay, stay connected with all of your software stuff.